From 1891 to 1910, about 12 million immigrants came to the U.S. 70% of these immigrants were from Asia, Southern or Eastern Europe. Such places included Hungary, Italy, Russia, Great Britain, Ireland, Germany, etc. Many of these people had many different qualities to them, different religions, beliefs, and cultural practices. They did though have work experience because where they came from, they did the country's dirty work in constructing mines and sweatshops. The mass movement of millions of people is explained by the push-pull theory. Push and pull factors are all economic, political, or environmentally based. Push factors forcing people to migrate is the lack of jobs, few opportunities, pollution, poor housing, death threats, not being able to practice religion freely, poor medical care, political fear, and natural disasters. These factors cause people to search for a better place to live in because the ones they lived in were horrible places to live, which leads to the pull factors of finding job opportunities, better living conditions, political and or religious freedom, education, better medical care, and security. These drew people to the U.S. in hope of finding these things. For example, the Irish people's reason for moving was because of a natural disaster of a potato famine that happened in Ireland between the years 1845 through 1849. In 1845, the population of Ireland peaked 8.5 million. The potato was greatly favored in the country as a source of food and could be sold for income. They favored the potato called Erin Banner, but what they didn't know was that this particular type of potato was vulnerable to the fungus known as blight. The blight destroyed the potato crop of 1845, causing widespread panic of a famine. The problem wasn't that there wasn't absolutely no food in Ireland, it was that the Irish peasants had no money with which to buy the food with. They relied on the selling of their potatoes as a source of income, and because of the famine, they didn't have money. People started to go hungry. Diseases also claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. Epidemics of typhoid fever, cholera, and dysentery broke out. It claimed more lives than starvation. This caused hardships in the Irish people and caused unrest and violence to break out. By 1851, the census recorded 6.5 million from a drop of 2.2 million people. They sought refuge and migrated to the U.S. in hope of better lives. This new surge in population provided the U.S. with skilled and unskilled labor workers to spread the growth of factory manufacturing in the U.S., growth of cities, America's economic growth, diversity, and the widespread of new ideas. The American establishment, the natives' reaction to this massive immigration movement was that they saw immigrants as a threat and hated them. A threat to their jobs, way of life, and the American culture. They saw them as too different to fit into American culture. They even blamed them for social problems such as crime, poverty, and violence. The spread of political ideas. They thought their willingness of working for such low wages was robbing them of their jobs. Some even went as far as to start anti-immigration groups. Between the 1870s and 1920s, industrialization fueled growth and modernization. New inventions and ideas began the Second Industrial Revolution, which helped the U.S. modernize. New industries such as oil, steel, and transportation revolutionized the daily lives of everyone, including immigrants. First of all, oil provided an inexpensive fuel for things such as machines and automobiles to function on, while steel gave the people the basic structures for skyscraper buildings and railroads, while transportation, which included railroads and automobiles, gave the demand for faster transportation of goods and people and people. Transportation, oil, and steel industries also provided thousands of new jobs, meaning people had money to spend on goods they needed, which contributed to the growth of the national economy. Immigration and urbanization also contributed to the growth of the U.S. at the time. While people from all over the world, hearing of the great changes taking place here in the U.S., they saw it as a chance for a better life. So they made the journey from their countries to the U.S. and started urbanizing into great cities where they worked in factories and industries, which also fueled the growth and modernization of the U.S. Growth and modernization impacted society in many ways. It increased the standard of living, wage increases, food supplies, created a new middle class, more variety of affordable consumer goods, and introduced the U.S. to different cultures and beliefs. These changes established the U.S. as a world power through the technological advances it experienced and the multicultural impact it had on our country. This gave the U.S. the title of one of the most advanced nations in the world. It also gave people happiness to live in a country where the government only kept the people's best interest at heart, a democracy, giving them the same idea as it states in the Declaration of Independence of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It gave them the choice to find happiness and gives them unalienable rights in which to live by, establishing the U.S. as a world power because of the technological advances and multicultural diversity.